Squishies. This is The Congress, 2013 movie, directed by Ari Furman? Something like that. This is a commission vlog for Benny Blue. Thank you for getting me to watch this. I had never heard of it before you mentioned it to me, and it was really cool. So this is a movie about a woman, Robin Wright, the actress from The Princess Bride, who plays herself as an aging, failing actress in her 40s. She had a really bright start to her career, and then it sort of fizzled out. And now she's given an offer to have her likeness, her behaviors, everything of who she is digitized so that it can be stored, reused at will by the studio. She will be paid for this, but they want exclusivity. Their animated version of her is the only version of her that can ever be. She is no longer allowed to act. And because her disabled son needs treatment, she takes the deal, and we time skip to 20 years later, where she goes to this futurological congress. The movie is based on the Stanislaw Lem book of the same name. Now, I've never actually read any of Lem's novels. I have read a number of his short stories, and I really like his stuff. I've just never read the novels, including the one this is based on. My understanding is it's fairly loosely based anyway, so. Anyway, in the Congress, she's expected to speak to basically announce, it's basically like an Apple product launch. It's sort of this cross between, like, a presentation at a large Comic-Con and the Nuremberg rally. It's just this CEO that's making himself into this celebrity figure and trying to drum up the crowd's excitement for this new product that will essentially allow anyone to choose what they perceive. You can see what you want to see, interpret the world around you how you want to interpret it, be who you want to be, and the Miramount, the movie studio, will provide this to people. She is kind of horrified about this, kind of tries to lecture the crowd about it, and then something goes very wrong. From this point in the movie, it's very unclear what's real and what's not, because it's a movie, and of course nothing is real. But the movie kind of abandons the pretense of a layer of reality for most of the rest of its running time, more or less from the moment it starts being animated, because the moment she passes into the Congress, the city where the Congress is being held, everything is animated, because she's taken this, precursor variant of the drug that's supposed to create this animated reality that people can shape at will. There's more time skips. She ends up in this kind of dystopian future where most of the population just lives in this animated fantasy world that they control, but in reality, they're, filthy, poor, huddled masses type of situation. And then the few people who remain in contact with the truth, as it's called, live in these floating giant dirigibles over the ruins of the world. So yeah, that's a thing. The movie is a little disjointed. It's structurally a little sloppy. But it's still quite good. And definitely food for thought. I feel like particularly early on, It's very much a condemnation of the kind of commodification of the body that we see happening around us all the time. Because we work, we do our work, we do our labor, and it gets taken away from us. It's classic alienation. We, instead of working with materials we own to produce things that we own, that we can do with what we will, we work on somebody else's equipment, somebody else's time, somebody else's payroll to make something that is instantly taken away from us and we have no control over it. And that's as true for somebody working on a line in a factory or in a cubicle in an office or an actor being filmed. And there's a scene in the movie where they talk about that, where they talk about how she's, never been in control of her art. Someone tells her what the subtext of the script is and when to smile and when to cry. They film her and then they take it away from her. And then they show it, they cut it and edit it however they want and show it wherever and whenever they want. And that's capitalism. Your labor is taken away from you. The product of your work is taken away from you. Control over it is taken away from you. And ultimately, you're taken away from yourself. Your body becomes just another commodity to be bought and sold and traded. Your very self becomes that. And that's exactly what happens when she's scanned. They buy her. They go the next step beyond buying her acting and buy her acting. Not her doing it, but the doing of it itself. And leave her empty. There's nothing left to her but her connection with her son, and even that is ultimately lost to this animated world. Because then they start selling to everyone this ability to reshape the world around us, but not really. In the second part of the movie, I feel like it's transitioning more into a criticism of the way, of the bread and circuses thing. The way that we get sold this glitzier, happier world, while the world around us decays into shit. The old entertaining ourselves to death thing. Certainly there is something to be said for escapism, but ultimately you do have to come back to reality and tear the prison down. There's this thing, I think it's C.S. Lewis or Tolkien, I forget which, that's, in defending escapism by saying that, what prisoner wouldn't try to escape? That's what prisoners do and should do. So if we're prisoners in this world, we should try to escape via escapist fantasy, escapist literature, escapist movies. But the counter-argument is that that's abandoning everyone else in the prison. We shouldn't be trying to escape, we should be trying to tear the prison down so that everyone can walk free. And that's exactly what's not happening, because the powers that be, the capitalist structures, are the ones selling this quote-unquote free choice. And so your only real choices are within the confines that they give you. And ultimately, as one woman, she's not able to break free of that. The best she can do is seek out some kind of solace, some kind of escape. Because that's the danger. We talk about we talk about the dangers of AI, the paperclip maximizer, the idea that we'll create a machine that it wants what we've told it to want, but we told it badly, and so it wreaks havoc on the world. But that's exactly what capitalism is. It seeks to maximize profit. We've told these machines, these corporations, to maximize profit. And they know nothing else. They value nothing else. And they do nothing but seek to do it while chewing up everything in their path, including us. We form their guts, their gears, but they're not us. They're these other entities that we've created that we no longer have control of, and we need to kill them, or else end up in this choice where our only options are a miserable truth or a unreal freedom within the confines they give us. One thing I do, like, this is something that shows up a lot in, like, indie type films and that kind of thing. This idea that, like, misery is realer than happiness, and fuck that. In particular, there's a line in there near the end of the movie about how, like, we masked the truth with antidepressants, and now we just rebuild it with better drugs. But that's not what antidepressants do at all. Antidepressants do not mask the truth. They do quite the opposite. If you are depressed, there is a mask between you and the truth. You are unable to see the good sides, the positive sides, the happier sides. All of those parts of your brain are kind of shut down. And I can say from experience that when you get the antidepressants you need and you get one that works well, it's like that mask is lifted away. Now you can see things as they are. Now you can perceive things more clearly and more truthfully instead of just the negative sides. So fuck that line. But otherwise, really good movie, really solid. The acting felt a little stiff and performative at first, but I think that was deliberate. I think they were trying to give the live action segments a sort of stage-y feel, so there was a little more declaiming going on. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you for getting me to watch it, and I really recommend it to anybody out there. If you've got Amazon Prime, it's free, so it's worth checking out. It's the 2013 The Congress. There's more than one movie called that. This is the 2013 one starring Robin Wright. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Patreon for early access to gaming videos, vlogs, essays, and more. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!